Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a review of a wonderful disc, really an interesting disc, containing symphonies, one-off symphonies, by Russian composers who were very little known in our day and were rather little known in their day as well. They are Felix Blumenfeld, who was known as a pianist. He was a marvelous pianist, a virtuoso pianist. Some of his stuff is on that wonderful Hyperion Romantic Piano series. And Georgy Catoire, a very interesting Russian composer of French origin. And they were really contemporaneous. I mean, Blumenfeld's dates, there we go, were 1863 to 1931, and Catoire's were 1861 to 1926. Both of them had a pedagogical streak, that is, they taught, rather than making a living off of composition. And they both wrote symphonies in C minor. It's really kind of amazing. Blumenfeld's was his Opus 39 from about 1905, 1906, and Catoire's was his Opus 7, an early work in 1989-91, orchestrated in 1895 through 1898. They were in no hurry. None of these guys seemed to be in any hurry to make a career as a composer. Of the two symphonies, the Blumenfeld is vastly more conservative than Catoire's. Catoire's is actually kind of the more interesting coloristically. It has some wonderful touches for, woodwind writing and harp and percussion and whatnot. The Blumenfeld is rather more ordinary in terms of that, in that particular aspect of it, but it is interesting formally. It really is, because it consists of an andante lugubre, lugubrious, followed by an allegro, a larghetto, and then a finale with epilogue. In other words, it's just like a symphony by Arnold Bax, although it's a little bit earlier, around the time of Bax's first symphony, but, with this slow epilogue, which rises, from sort of the dismal ruins of the finale to an exalted conclusion, and the silliest last bars you've ever heard in your life. I mean, it ends, and then it goes, blum, blum, ba-da, one of those things, like not Sibelius Fifth. I mean, that's different. It's a whole different concept. It's conventional, but strange. But the finale happens to be, I think, the best movement. I mean, it's got really good tunes, and it's fun to listen to. Now, Catoire's, as I said, is the more interesting of the two coloristically, for sure. It's a bigger work, too. I mean, it's in like, well, I don't know, it's a bit longer. It's about 37 minutes long. No, 39 minutes, 40 minutes. Good 40 minutes. The scherzo is delightful. The slow movement is very pretty. The finale is perky. It's all recognizably Russian romantic music. And, if you like Russian romantic music, you're going to like these two symphonies. It's really as simple as that. You'll enjoy hearing them. I'm not sure. I've had this for a while. I've listened to them a few times. I'm not sure how much staying power they have. Like I said, the last movement of the Blumenfeld and the scoring of the Catoire really stuck with me. They really did. So I guess they are worth giving more time and attention to than just one-offs, and they're very well performed here. They really are. They're beautiful performances here, featuring the Royal Scottish National Orchestra under Martin Yates, who's done so much unusual repertoire, most of it British in this series. So I wanted to talk about these because they weren't British, and because they show that, Yates can do the other stuff too, as long as it's like fun and punchy and romantic and colorful. So, the label is Dutton. The sonics are first class, absolutely first class. The orchestra sounds really enthusiastic about some of this music. That's what I always like about the Royal Scottish National Orchestra. They can play a lot of strange repertoire, and they sound not just confident, but enthusiastic. And that is also due to Martin Yates' leadership. There's no question about that. I mean, they're just the right folks for this particular package. So, as I said, if you're looking for some unusual, off-the-beaten-path Russian symphonies that are kind of between Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff, and Glazunov, let's not forget Glazunov. You do it that way. The Blumenfeld is more sort of like Glazunov-y, and the Catoire is more like Balakirev. If you like that symphony, the Balakirev First, which is wonderful, who doesn't like that? You know, you'll hear the difference immediately. You know, one a little bit more Germanic, the other a little bit more sort of Russian and Rimsky-Korsakovian. Even though actually Catoire was a Wagnerian, a serious Wagnerian. He studied in Germany with Karl Kleinworth, of all people, who was a serious Wagnerian piano pedagogue. Anyway, we don't have to go into the details. What we need to do is listen to the music, which is quite a nice encounter. It really was. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.